He took his son to the supermarket shopping, seeing everyone looking at the sky. He also raised his head to look. Countless fighters are flying in the same direction. A dot of light in the falling sky. Everyone knows it's a comet. The human army is doing everything to stop it. When John was taking his son shopping, suddenly the phone rang. The sound was extremely high-pitched. Get your phone out. Unexpectedly above display, the president's announcement. John doesn't know what's going on. Seeing everyone around are very normal. The phone rings suddenly. Above shows the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. He picked up the phone. There was a mechanical sound inside. This is a presidential announcement, not a drill. He was chosen by the government to move to the bunker. The same displaced person was Allison Rose Garrity. This time John believes it. His whole family was chosen. On the way home, he saw troops heading west. After he drove home, seeing neighbors are at home, watch TV together. Apparently they were waiting for the comet to fall. Together shouting slogans. Suddenly there was an earthquake. John immediately ran out of the house. Countless birds and animals fly in the same direction. The world suddenly became extremely quiet. Suddenly a shockwave came in. John stood up. Go back to your home. Television is still reporting. This meteorite is only the size of a football field, but its shock waves, when you are at 2,400 kilometers away, can also feel it. Everyone was horrified by this news. The news continued to speak. First remind everyone, the next scene cannot be described in words. Pictures will make people uncomfortable. We also have no other way. Everyone has the right to know this. In the screen, a giant asteroid falls in central Florida. Turns 7.6 million people into ash. Recordable satellite images. A giant mushroom-shaped cloud make the earth form a hole, like the pit of the Alps. At the same time, John's phone rings again. TV, cold death in the house. All electrical devices have signals, read over and over again about John and their family. Others resent because they didn't get the notice. Together we left his house. John's family quickly packed up the luggage. As soon as she stepped outside, she saw a strange sight in the sky. It was like a big fire, burning the whole sky. They were on the way. Stopped by a neighbor. John can only explain that. I don't know myself. This is ultimately what. I just had to go to that location and take a look, but the neighbor carried the baby over. Want them to take the baby. She even started to cry bitterly, making everyone feel the atmosphere of despair. Human sentiment on the eve of the end of the world. It's not worth anything. John must be ruthless. Protect your family members. 7 hours later, they went to the location. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security said, people here are like ants. They are all the ones who want to enter the base. They were stopped outside by the soldiers. John took out the travel order. The whole family went into success. Inside a total of 20 transport aircraft, people who can get on the plane. They are all carefully selected, useful for the future development of humanity. They are also required to be the elite in the elite. The loudspeaker said, each family can only bring one backpack with them. Other things were thrown out by the soldiers. When John packed the luggage, son's insulin detection, lost in the car, timing. He rushed back to get it. Allison waited a long time, also did not see Joe return. She went to the soldiers, said my husband went to get medicine for his son. Until now, we haven't returned. Can you help me find a little bit? But the soldiers' first reaction, not to help her solve the problem. It is reported to superiors. Here comes a child with a chronic illness. Allison found something bad, open mouth and say, I don't look anymore. She wants to leave. The results were taken to the command room, no matter how she explains it. In the end, the son was seen by the female officer in front of him. Order refusal to board the plane. The female officer opened her mouth and said, no member of my family was selected, including my child. Allison said sorry. At the same time, after John found insulin, find a wife everywhere. There was no other way. He could just get on the plane first. He texted family members but there was no signal. The man next to him found him very worried. He saw medicine in John's hand again. Tell with him, my grandson is also chronically ill. They won't let them on the plane. After John heard this, immediately prevented the soldiers from shutting down. Tell me to voluntarily get off the plane. Soldiers agree with him. At the same time, after Allison was taken out of the base by soldiers, all soldiers received orders. Block number 34 was demolished by the people. This leads to a loss of control. 10,000 people, like crazy, running straight into the airport. Soldiers receive orders. They began to slaughter. Soldiers are refueling. The aircraft was shot down. John shouted the plane was about to explode. Tell everyone to leave quickly. Everyone frantically ran down the plane. A loud bang. Many planes explode from one to another. The light is bright. They just want to continue living. Allison also felt terrified when seeing the scene. She just went back to her car first. Leave message. Take the son to his grandfather's house. John went to the car. Seeing the messages they leave, the heavy rock in the heart can finally drop. Allison let her son back. First she has to find a pharmacy. Buy medicine for your child. On the way she only saw supermarkets. People are robbed. Allison also just joined their team when insulin was found. Suddenly heard a gunshot. It's a group of thugs. They came here to store medicine. They kill people when they see people, and when they see drugs. It's shocking. Allison let her son out. They are extremely scared, blocked by a black guy. Under Allison's plea, Black brother forgave them. Allison pleaded with an old couple at the door, asked the couple to see them off for a long way. The man refused, but the woman found them poor. Choose to help them. On the way they said they were the chosen one. This man floats bad intentions, stopped the car on the side of the road, pulled Allison out of the car, stealing her bracelet. Take your son Jack to the next military base. In front of life. Humanity is like that. This side John also found the car. Everyone also knew he was the chosen one. Want to rob you of your status. Everyone fighting against each other. Causes a truck to crash into another vehicle. Everyone was thrown out. When I woke up, others have yet to give up. Stealing John's bracelet. He accidentally smashed the hammer in the head of a man. John becomes a murderer. People saw John as violent. No one dares to come near him. This side the driver took Jack to the military base. When about to use the bracelet to go successfully, Jack opened his mouth and said, "They are not my father." The soldiers are extremely responsible, pulled them out and locked them up, comforting the baby's little soul. 1 hour later, Allison to the military base. Meet a good black guy. Under your help. She found her baby. They hug each other tightly. John goes to a small town. All of the people here. It all seems to have gone to the military base. He turned on a TV of a certain family. Seeing the outside world was all chaotic. Violence is happening all over the earth. All videos are reported by reporters. Use their lips to change back. Currently Earth mortality data has exceeded 1 billion. John found the car key in a drawer. Leave message. If only I could survive. Will definitely return the car to you. He went home. Seeing his father-in-law still playing cards with the old neighbors, father-in-law asked him questioningly, "Where's my daughter?" John explained immediately. After his father-in-law, extremely angry, left the table, then suddenly received a call from her daughter. She went outside of town. The two men quickly drove over. Although the two of them didn't have any expressions, but in my heart extremely impatient. Allison sees his house's car. Morale multiplied. The whole family hugged each other tightly. They went home. See news on TV. There are many places to stay. Greenland Island Air Force Base. They decided to immediately set out, but whatever advice is advised, the father still says a sentence. He did not bloom far from his house, finally decided to stay. The whole family was divided again. He raised his head to look. The whole sky has turned red. 7 hours left before the end of the earth. John's family was stuck in traffic on the highway. Meteors fell from the sky. Destroyed a lot of cars. Meteors filled the sky and covered the earth. Make everyone flee. Helicopter in the sky was dropped. John drove into the woods. He led his family to hide under the big bridge. At night the meteor shower ended. They continued on their way, but when I got to the airport, the last plane is taking off. There is no other way. John just has to stop the car driving. The pilot got off the plane and cursed John. John was almost on his knees. A man's honor. At this point he was completely indifferent, because he has to save his family. The pilot saw John's honesty, decided to let them on the plane. 20 minutes left before the comet hit the earth. After morning, a giant meteor fell from the sky, colliding with water. The image is extremely magnificent. Shockwaves made the aircraft lose its momentum. The captain just had to make an emergency landing through the valley. Use the aircraft's flight system. Safety landed on the rock. Hit the big rock hard. Captain, because he wants to protect everyone, he sacrificed his life. Before he died, he told John to run away. They only have 10 minutes left. The front is the base. People through the valley saw the base. There are many military trucks below, welcoming the people. After arriving at the base, the alarm rang. At the same time, the biggest comet, slowly falling to the earth. John relied on his efforts not to give up, putting the whole family on a successful base. Satellites are calculating and checking. Comets will use shock waves. Wipe out the earth in 1 minute 20 seconds. The last 10 seconds, everyone counts down together. John's mind was reminiscing. Happy moments of my life. Every minute and every second is memorized in the brain. According to legend, 1 second before dying, beautiful memories will overflow. In just 1 minute 20 seconds, the earth has been destroyed. Original colorful city. Now there are only 2 colors left. Gray and black colors. The alarm light lights up again. Time has passed 9 months. The big door opened. The sun still exists. But now the earth is no longer the same. There are no trees. There is no water source. Only stone and sand remained. 96% of life ceased to exist. This elite group of elves. How will the earth be rebuilt? Now the earth has become. Hell has countless volcanoes.